This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Kristen Gilreath, Deyvis Ferreira, and Logan Storey. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and acknowledge Alina Zizkin and Tara Pokerny because they renewed their annual pledge over at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast, and we're so happy to have your support, and thank you for your generosity. And we want to thank and welcome Matthew Eaton and Dan Durgan to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much. We really couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 3 and 4 of Winter's Heart.
Yeah, so chapter 3 is customs, and chapter 4 is offers.
That's right.
We are taking a slow start to the beginning of this book.
It certainly feels that way, except doing 2 chapters an episode.
Yeah.
We're flying.
That's true. We're almost like 200 pages in almost. Yeah. We're getting there.
Here we are.
Yeah.
What's even happened?
No, it's great. And it makes sense that we're recording like this chapter today.
Oh my gosh.
Because
where we live.
Yeah, all the snow.
It's certainly winter.
It's winter.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
And so we remedied that by having taco night.
And margaritas.
That's really what it comes down to.
Nothing to do with as is tradition in Canada. You always have margaritas on the first, big snowfall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're going to go with that.
That's a new one that we're starting. And I have ice in my margarita because...
Yeah, warm margaritas.
You want me to drink a warm margarita? No. But it might be jingle jangly on the recording.
Yeah, so fair warning.
Yeah.
It happens.
Nothing warms you up like tequila.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, and speaking of warming up, good segue, for the fun fact today, we're talking about frostbite. Oh yeah, I'm going to try to not make this too much of like a PSA, but it's actually interesting once I was really reading into it. RJ, I think, does a pretty good job of showing Fael going through the stages of frostbite into hypothermia. Mm-hmm. He does a pretty dang good job.
When I first started reading, I was like, oh no, how long are we going to be walking barefoot in the snow naked?
Yeah.
And how realistic is this going to be? I was like, are we just going to continue to rag on Robert Jordan's no knowledge of snow and cold for the rest of this entire book called Winter's Heart?
Yeah, and just like for a little bit this chapter, but
like, no, I actually think that he ended up doing a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I got some facts about frostbite. Just, once you kind of learn about it, it's interesting.
Okay.
So, first off, damage to skin can occur basically as soon as you get below 0 or 31 degrees Fahrenheit, you can freeze your skin. So even like 0.55, like in the negatives, that's when skin starts to freeze. And as we know, living in Canada, extremities are the first to go. So like fingers, toes, ears, things like that.
Tip of your nose.
Yep. There's stages of frostbite. So there's like the lower stage, sometimes called frost nip, and it's mild numbness, no permanent damage. And then it moves into superficial frostbite where your skin can change color, you can get blisters, swelling. We also see Fael's feet start to bleed, which is also probably in part because she's running barefoot.
Yeah.
But then the deep and severe frostbite, when it affects all the layers of your skin turns white or blue-gray, and then joints and muscles stop working, and then tissue turns black and hard, and then it dies. So basically, anything above the most mild form of frostbite, you gotta go see a doctor because they have to rewarm you.
Or Aes Sedai.
And that actually is important that we saw that because there's no way you get fixed just from a blanket from frostbite. No. That doesn't happen.
Hot tea.
Hot tea, exactly. And then hypothermia, which basically follows frostbite, can include intense shivering, slurred speech, drowsiness, and loss of coordination. And we get to kind of see the progression of that with Fael, too.
Yeah.
Now, there are some tips on how to not get frostbite. Number 1,
Don't be naked in the snow.
Don't walk on frostbitten feet. That's important.
Oh, okay.
It makes it worse if
but that's not a tip of how
okay.
not to get frostbite. That's
how
a
not
tip
to make it worse.
Of when you have it. Okay.
Also, protect the affected areas from cold.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So this is just a list of how not to make frostbite worse.
Yep.
This isn't a list of how not to get frostbite.
Well, also not getting frostbite, protect the skin from cold. That's important.
Protect it, yeah.
Wear clothing suitable for the conditions you're in.
Duh.
Right? Mm-hmm. And, interestingly, exercise can help. It gets the blood flowing and helps you stay warm. But don't do it to the point of exhaustion, because then that makes it worse. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so those are just some like tidbits here, but on the historical side, there are some interesting things in the military records, because frostbite has been described in military history as far back as the Greeks in 400 BCE, and researchers have found evidence of frostbite in humans dating back 5,000 years ago in an Andean mummy. So, I mean, it makes sense that people have always, frozen to death and stuff, but the fact that we can actually see that being a thing, kind of cool.
Right.
And then Napoleon's army was the first documented instance of mass cold injury in the early 1800s. And then nearly 1 million combatants fell victim to frostbite in the First and Second World Wars and the Korean War. Oh. It's a major issue in military campaigns.
Yeah.
So.
No, I believe that.
Yeah.
Gotta keep warm.
Yeah. Wear clothes.
And keep your extremities warm.
Yes, absolutely.
That's important.
All right, so let's move into customs.
Okay. Before we do that, we're going to talk about the last time we were here.
Sure. Yep.
Perrin left the Prophet after a not great meeting, and then returned to camp to find out about Fail and the others being captured. Now, at this point, they have search parties out and all that good stuff, but there isn't much more that can be done at this point, and that frustrates Perrin.
Yes, definitely.
And that's where we are. That's all that happened.
Yeah, no, not a lot has.
That's literally the summary of the last two chapters, and we managed to talk about it for an hour. So
him and Talonvor, waiting in the cold, so, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
Slow start, but we're getting there.
So chapter 3, Customs. We get a chapter symbol that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's new.
Yes. I called it a white bird.
Oh, falcon?
Oh, it's a falcon.
It's falcon.
Oh, Fail gets her own?
Fail, yeah.
It's Fail.
She's the falcon?
She's the falcon.
That's been a thing that's been happening.
No, I got that. That didn't come to my mind.
Interesting, okay.
Let me see it again.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm questioning it, because I've always just been like, yeah, it's a falcon. It's Fail.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Falcon. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, it works.
Yep.
Checks out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't look at it too closely. I was like, white bird. Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so we're going to enter in a Fail perspective. So I always like this when we go back and forth.
We had it again, Perrin and then Fail.
That's right. We're going back and forth. We're figuring out where one is compared to where the other is, and they're always thinking about each other. So Fail is currently captured by the Shadow, and they're on the move. Since the very beginning of their trek, she's been worried about freezing.
Yeah.
Because she's still very naked.
Yep. She's not completely naked.
Yes, she is.
She has her 2 stockings. They're just not on her feet.
Around her neck and her tied arms behind her back.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that.
That's what she's at.
Does that count?
Now, I think that this isn't just a concern, but a certainty.
Sure.
When you're naked in the snow.
Yeah.
For literally.
Yeah.
Any more than 5 minutes, it feels like.
Yeah.
This is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And so I really do think that RJ tried here, and the description is good. It's okay, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that there's the benefit of the doubt. I think that it takes much longer than it might have.
Yeah.
Than it might typically take.
Because again, it depends on temperature, it depends on activity, and we don't actually know the exact temperature, but I mean, when it gets really cold and then with wind adding on to the whole frostbite thing, you can get frostbite within half an hour.
Yeah.
It can happen real quick.
And also, bare feet in the snow.
Yeah.
Just walking in it, there's no way. For an hour? No.
Yeah. I guess that's the point too, is that they probably do have permanent damage at this point.
Yeah.
Because they get picked up and carried, but then they get healed.
But that's after hours and hours.
I know,
but
it's
I'm not an expert even remotely, and so I do like the fact that Robert Jordan did try. And there was a lot this chapter about how cold everything is.
Yeah. But it's like it's making the case worse when it's really cold.
Yeah.
Because then you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
You're just dead. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like that happens.
Especially when she's picked up and she stops moving.
Yeah, and then she's like, "You're super dead."
Yeah.
She should be dead.
That's what she's worried about. Like there is some. It's good.
Yeah.
We can move on from it.
Okay.
And I don't need to mention it again. I think.
Yeah.
Until we get to next chapter when there's literally zero mention of how cold they are because they have a robe on.
Yeah.
Or,
that makes it better.
I don't know.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We got to suspend the disbelief.
Okay.
For the chapters.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Go then.
Okay. Yeah.
So now we also learn at this point that there are fewer Shido than she originally thought because there's probably only around 150 traveling with them here.
Yeah, versus like a couple hundred. So.
Yeah. And at this point, she's trying to be very optimistic about the situation. She's like, easy. We can definitely escape. She's trying to pick up on things that might help her do that. And she figures that the main group of Shido must still be pretty far away.
Yeah, like she doesn't have that thought process of like negativity and, I'm never going to escape. It's all very positive overall. So, good for her for that. And also, we get a little tidbit that the Aiel have added green into the Cadensor.
Right, since coming over here.
But they haven't added white yet, and she's like, why haven't they added white?
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, maybe they don't have like a bunch of spare white cloth for all their...
And when they do have spare white cloth, who is it going to?
Yeah. Like...
My question to you, who's it going to?
The Guy Shine.
The Guy Shine.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, I mean, there's probably reasons, but...
Yeah. And we did get to, in the Aiel War, the Aiel were wearing...
Yeah.
Like white Cadensor.
They'll get there eventually, but it did seem the weather changed relatively quickly.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, at one point at the beginning of this journey, she tries to look back at the other captives, but then ends up falling down, which probably makes things worse when she's just laying naked in the snow.
Yeah, probably.
But I'm not going to talk about that anymore.
Right.
Okay. So a big Aiel guy named Roland.
We've seen him before.
Picks her up, smacks her on the butt. And
like a horse.
Gets her moving.
Yeah, to get her moving.
Okay, we've seen Roland in Savannah's camp specifically or elsewhere?
During the capture. So during the capture...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was the guy who was saying we shouldn't be taking Guy Shine, and the other guy was like, Savannah wants him, so...
Got it.
Just like, for the record, Roland, the one who's like going to be carrying her.
Didn't want to take Guy Shine, but that probably just meant they were going to get killed.
Or just, like, left behind. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I don't think they would have just been left.
Maybe. I mean, the Aiel don't necessarily just slaughter people.
These aren't Aiel who are following Aiel rules.
That's fair.
I think, realistically, if they weren't taken, they would have just been killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because, obviously, they're staying quiet somehow. Later, Fael thinks about how it could be that this many Aiel... Nobody knows that there's this many.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's lots of reasons as to that. Like, the entire countryside is in disarray. So,
yeah. Okay.
It's not like they have a reporting system.
No, but I think it probably would have been bad.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. So then we get to the point where she's getting frostbite on her toes and her feet are for sure bleeding. And finally, at one point, she runs into Roland before she realizes that the Aiel have stopped. She runs right into him. And he lifts her up to check her feet and then swings her over her shoulder. And she's just happy to be out of the snow. But then at this point, she starts to realize, oh no, now I'm not moving.
Yeah, which is, that was helping, but now we're not, so... And then you're in, like, a weird position and your head's down and then, like, the blood rushing.
And she's, like, uncomfortable.
You're gonna, like, pass out from that, and if you pass out when you're cold and in the snow, then you just die. So don't fall asleep in the snow or the cold.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Mm-hmm. So finally, Fael manages to get a look at the other prisoners while she's being carried. And they're all still here and alive. And they're pretty much in the same shape as Fael.
Yeah, which is bad.
Yep. Yeah. They're all getting their feet inspected. And they're about to be carried.
Yeah, except for Ben and Chiad.
Right, that's
they
what I was
seem to be doing okay.
Yeah, no.
Well, the feet aren't doing... They're doing better.
They're doing a touch better, considering they're not bound. Because Fael knows they're committed to serving a year and a day as Guy Shine. But she's not sure yet if they're going to help them escape or not.
Yes, we don't know the dynamics of, like, is it within Giotto? Because technically the Wetlanders shouldn't be Guy Shine.
Yes.
So is it cool as a Guy Shine to help people who shouldn't be Guy Shine escape?
Even
like,
if,
what's the rules?
What's the rules?
I mean, we're going to have to, like, figure that one out, so.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And then here we get the first and last mention of the Cha Fael ladies who are also captured.
Okay, well, yeah.
We really don't hear about them.
No,
again.
they get lost in the crowd.
They certainly do.
There's too many people, and it's like, yeah, we'll catch up with them later. Do you think something bad happened to them?
No.
It's just
I
like,
just think that we just like, okay, bye.
Okay.
I don't know. Of all the things that happened.
Yeah.
Like, at one point in the last chapter, I was like, what about those guys?
Should we
just
be
like
concerned?
haven't heard from them.
Yeah, we'll have to find them tomorrow. Wasn't that the
Maybe.
entire... That's what
I
they
don't know.
said. They looked for them, but they're like, missing amongst the people.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, they're gone.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just funny because they are trying to act like maidens, but like...
Yeah. Well, Fael's worried about them causing trouble,
trouble.
but they're not the ones who caused the trouble. It's Alejandra and Magdalene,
who are putting up a real fight.
the friggin' queens here. And
Yeah.
it's actually really hilarious because in Fael's thought process, she's like, oh man, why is Magdalene acting the same as Alejandra?
Why is she acting like a queen?
Yeah.
Weird.
She even seems more of a queen than Alejandra does.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's because she is more of a queen.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point, though, everybody gets thrown over shoulders, and the Aiel start moving again, but now that all the prisoners are being carried, they're moving even faster.
Yeah.
And now this is very uncomfortable to travel like this, and Fael has a couple thoughts about biting out some throats.
Yep.
Which,
Yeah.
in the right scenario...
Good throat bite, very effective.
Super effective.
But
in the right scenario.
In this context, it's just like, now
foolish
no.
and useless.
Yeah.
Especially at this point.
Yeah.
And
Consider you're naked and very injured.
Very.
And still surrounded by 150 Aiel. So.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And so basically this whole chapter, she just continues to get carried.
Until she passes out.
Yeah. That's basically it. That's the chapter.
Yeah. But once she's unconscious, we get a couple of dreams.
Right.
Which are like maybe kind of sort of dreams, but also what is happening.
Sort of passes out thinking about Perrin, so then she sort of has a dream about Perrin.
Yeah.
But then she has a dream about being by a big bonfire.
Well, it's also kind of like what's
happening.
Yeah, what's actually happening in her like delusional
state
of non-consciousness, but like she's picking stuff up because when she comes to, it's like that's what was happening. So the Fael sitting on Perrin's lap, there's a fire, his beard, there's some nipping at the ears going on, there's wind, and then Perrin's gone, and then she's tumbling around in the dark and cold. It's not like prophetic dreams, so they're not as interesting.
No. They're not, none of this at all is interesting. You're right. You're right about that. Thanks for...
Yeah. She knows she has to keep moving or she's going to die.
Okay.
Bonfire, naked, cold. No matter how close to the fire she gets, it doesn't get her warm. Which, importantly, if you get frostbite, it's very important to not rewarm yourself with extreme heat or fires because your skin can't tell what's too hot.
Do you remember coming in from recess
after
playing outside and then you'd like go to wash your hands?
Do not use hot water.
And it would like burn your hands?
Yeah. You definitely don't use hot water.
Even cold water would like burn your skin.
It's not good. Rewarming of skin is a very painful process, especially when you have like full-blown frostbite.
Yeah.
It's very bad.
Yeah, and I've never actually had frostbite.
I've never had full-on frostbite because like that's something everybody talks about.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not a joke, man. You need a hat.
Yeah, you need a hat and you need your mittens. You need your boots.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Or you can't go outside.
Yeah, it's just not happening.
You just don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And if it's too cold, then it's just indoor recess.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Most of the winter.
But anyways, and then it's daylight and it's snowing and she's hungry and then there's a tall man who's forcing tea into her mouth and that is what's really happening.
Right.
And then she's awake. Yeah, there you go.
Full consciousness. Here we go. She's drinking tea.
Yeah.
And then the man who's here is a guy shine, but like an actual Aiel one.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because he says, they offended your honor, but you're a wetlander, so maybe that doesn't count with you. And then she basically is like, what is happening? What's going on? What are you talking about? I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and she does keep looking around for the other people, and everyone in her little crew seems to be in the exact same situation as her. Like, they're all lined up with, everybody's getting tea.
And blankets.
And blankets. And even Ban and Chia don't seem to be doing that well.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all running through the snow naked for a while.
And then were carried, like, through the night.
Yeah, like, it's just a bad situation.
Yeah. Okay, but Fael thinks at least everyone is alive, because only the living can escape.
Yeah, so
but that's funny because later on,
yeah.
Specifically, I don't even remember who says it. Either Savannah or Tharava.
Yeah.
Or Galena.
I think it was Tharava who said it.
We'll be like, it was her. One of them says, only the dead escape.
Yes, the living always get brought back. I feel like that was Theravis. We'll figure it out next chapter. But yeah.
So, opposite mentality.
Yeah.
There.
Okay. Yeah. So we are going to escape. Do you think that she's going to escape?
I think she's going to be rescued.
Going to be rescued, okay. Because right now she's thinking escape.
She thinks pretty vehemently about how she would rather escape than be rescued.
Yeah.
But either or would probably be better at this point.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think a rescue is in the cards.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm trying to think on like the realistic standpoint
wait.
too.
Let's talk everything. Let's talk about it all.
Okay.
We'll get to the end and I'll tell
See
you
how you
more
feel.
how I feel about it.
Cool.
Okay. Because sometimes my opinions change after our conversation.
Yeah.
So, Fail sees Roland and the other Aiel who are in charge of all of them. They're all clustered around watching them, and Fail wonders where the rest of them are, because escaping will be super easy if all the Aiel are just gone right now.
And it was just these guys, and it's like, no.
Yeah, and then suddenly she sees past the Aiel, off through the trees, and she sees tons and tons and tons of Aiel.
Yeah.
Basically,
huge.
The entire clan.
Huge amount.
And so she doesn't understand how this many Aiel can be so close to Abila or anywhere in this country without anyone knowing about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the point, is that the entire country...
anybody who knows about it is either taken Gaishain or murdered.
That's true.
There's nobody other than Barrelane at this point.
Yeah. But I mean, it's also like a Shanshan thing, whereas do they really care? Because the country that they're in is in shambles anyways.
The Shanshan? Why would the Shanshan?
I said the same way the Shanshan don't give an F about if people get away. Because they're like, whatever. Like, do the Shido really care?
No, I think this is a little different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is different than that.
Anyways, let's get back to why they offended Fail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because they were given a blanket. They're given clothes.
Clothes, yeah. Because you're not, if you're Gaishain, you don't get clothed until you can be given the proper clothes, like the white garments. But they're like, oh no, you're going to freeze to death, and all we have are these coats. So they should be shamed because they're basically being called weak because they're going to freeze to death.
But
here's the thing. Here's the thing about culture customs. I get that in the waste, you can have your custom where you don't get clothes until you're properly clothed.
Right, yeah.
This isn't the waste.
No.
This is the wetlands, and there's a bunch of friggin' snow.
Yeah.
You gotta change your custom. It doesn't work. It doesn't work here.
It does not.
No.
Also, your custom doesn't work here.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether or not there's snow, you can't just take slaves.
You
can't just have slaves when nobody knows what's going on, you're going to take them forever.
Have you considered that, yes, they can? Have you considered that?
No.
Okay, there you go.
That's my fault.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Fael also picks up that Roland is one of the brotherless.
Oh.
She doesn't know what that means.
Okay.
Maybe she'll ask Ban and Chiad, but we know what that means. He's one of the ones who
abandoned his clan and sept.
There we go. You nailed it.
Okay. But he's here with the Shido.
Yeah. So basically, that's why I kind of like to make the comparison of the brotherless to the spears of the dragon, like the Saswayamon. They're both people who have like thrown off all their other pledges to either be like the spear of Rand or like the opposite of that. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know that I don't want to necessarily be with Rand right now. So I'm just kind of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They're a little bit lost.
Yeah. So now Fael thinks that maybe she might owe Roland a tiny favor by not letting her die.
Yeah.
But now she doesn't know how she'll escape, considering there might be tens of thousands of Shido here.
Shoot.
She tells the Gaishan serving man, I'm a wetlander, and we don't follow Giotto, and by your customs, we shouldn't even have been made Gaishan at all. Like, isn't that right?
Yeah.
And the man doesn't really react to that, but then Fael says, what if the Shido decide to break other customs? And then finally, the guy, like, gets what she's saying.
I think that he knew what she was saying about that, because Aiel don't like talking about stuff that they don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just ignore it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of their style. So when she calls him out on, like, I shouldn't be here, he's just like, not talking about that. Yeah. Nope.
Yeah. And so finally he does say, the Shido break many customs, but I do not. I have over half a year left, and until then, I will serve as custom demands.
Yeah, this is interesting because it's an interesting notion of how the Gaishan who are in service right now, like, it seems like they're going to follow along, and then once that year and a day hits, if there's a problem after that, then they'll deal with that.
Then they'll deal with it.
But like up until that point, we're just going along with it.
Right.
So I guess we'll have to wait and see until that moment hits.
Okay.
Because who knows? Like if the Shido, we don't really know yet if they're planning on keeping even the Aiel as Gaishain forever or whatever. So
okay. Well, Fael goes back to drinking the tea and thinking about her helpless situation.
yeah, it's not good. So
It's bad, in fact.
Yeah, well, we're in it now, so okay.
And that's the end of this exciting chapter.
Thrilling, yes.
Okay, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back to talk about chapter 4. Offers.
Offers, yeah.
Many. We get many, and they're not exactly offers.
Ooh, yeah, this just, it complicates things.
It's more like demands.
Sure. Yeah.
They don't have a choice here.
No.
An offer implies that you have a choice and that you're actually going to get something out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that even if they do any of the things that they're being told they have to do, that they're going to get anything out of it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I guess we'll have to,
Okay.
As usual, wait and find out.
As per usual.
Yeah.
Okay. So chapter symbol is the shield and spears for the Aiel.
Yeah.
Now, Fael perspective, we're keeping with her. At this point, Fael hears an Aiel woman saying, "What have we here?" We're in the very same moment that we were just in.
Yeah,
she's
she's still drinking tea, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta say, before we get into this, I don't really want to be that guy, but you definitely got a big thing wrong.
Wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, Galena.
Yeah, Galena.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
What are you doing? Jumping so ahead to point out that I'm wrong.
It happens immediately.
No, it does not. We're like 2 full paragraphs away.
Oh my goodness.
In my notes from getting to the point where I was wrong.
Oh man.
You're so excited to tell me about how I'm wrong. Relax.
It's like,
okay?
oh yeah, no, she's
relax.
She's just here.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Relax. Oh my gosh. Okay, can we not talk about what's happening?
Yeah, fine, whatever. It's cool. Okay, so we got 2 wise ones and a Gaishain, but who could the Gaishain be? I have no idea.
Well, no, we get there. It's not until we get her named that it matters.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right.
Relax. Chill out. We'll get there. Okay, so Fael hears an Aiel woman saying, "What have we here?" And then that's when she sees everybody coming up, except it's weird because the Gaishain has a bunch of jewelry on.
Yeah.
Like a gold belt.
Confusing.
Yeah.
Gaishain aren't supposed to be wearing anything except for the white.
Except that, hold on here. This gold chain belt.
Sure.
That goes around the robes or the dress.
Okay.
Is so 90s.
Oh, is it?
It's so funny.
Oh, that's good.
It's so good. The fact that they used to wear a dress or a long shirt with a belt that goes across the dress or whatever, that's very, very 90s fashion.
Okay, well, I mean, it did come out in 2000, so...
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So funny. I like it
this
very
looks
much.
good.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't see a lot of bell bottoms. What else are there for 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about fashion. I was a kid.
We're seeing a lot of 90s return.
That's true. Okay.
We are.
High-waisted. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
High-waisted jeans or something?
Jeans,
yeah.
The crop tops.
Cool.
Platform runners.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Lots of it.
90s clothing is fantastic. That was the peak. The peak of civilization as per the Matrix. So. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, I just like that. But anyway, we have the gold belt for the Gaishain, which is weird and forbidden. So weird. Mm-hmm. And then Fael figures that these 2 Aiel are wise ones, and we get a whole description of them.
There's a tall one, which is Somarin.
And a hawk-looking one.
Yeah,
or an
stern one.
eagle face.
Thurava, yeah.
Thurava. Yeah, so there's a bit of a stare down, because they're like, ugh, more Gaishain for Savannah. We have too many of these.
We get some numbers on what Savannah's doing, and she is going bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone they run into is just captured as a slave.
But even for her little personal Gaishain squad,
over 100 just in her
just
tent.
just for like her own dinner, whatever service thing.
And washing her back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, she's nuts.
Yeah.
But we already knew that.
Yeah, but
she
she's
still
like...
thinks that she's going to marry Rand. So, like, how nuts do you have to be at this point?
Okay. All right.
Okay, so more guy shine for Savannah. She won't be satisfied until the whole world is guy shine.
But so Marin's cool with that.
And she likes it. She's like, that's fine. I don't really care what she does. And then Tharava doesn't like it because she's like, they're slowing us right down.
Yeah.
And then Fael gets a good look at Tharava and knows she's not the type of woman to try anything with because it'll end badly. So she tries to act super meek and drink her tea, but Alejandra here does not get that vibe.
Oh,
and she stands up, acts super arrogant, announces exactly who she is.
This is all terrible. It's like, I am Randall Thor from the Two Rivers.
Like, you know what? I actually disagree that this is terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that this actually puts them a little bit in a better position.
Interesting.
To be treated a touch better.
Okay.
To be, maybe not treated better, but to be at least looked at in a different standing, in a different light.
Yeah. It's just like when you're captive by people who don't play by the rules of your... Like, she's not gonna... You're not gonna get a ransom.
Up. She's like, you can get a ransom for us. You'll get lots of money for us. We're very important people. You really shouldn't have captured us. This is... They're gonna come hunting for me. Like, this is the problem.
Yeah, part of the issue is, like, Alejandra doesn't understand what she's dealing with the Aiel.
No.
Like, she thinks that they're bandits. And so does Morghese. Morghese literally, she's like, these bandits. And it's like, they're not just bandits who want cash.
Yes.
Like, that's not what's happening here,
No, but I do think, in the end, it does a touch work out.
Okay.
That they know how powerful these are. Because, you know... It might be, you think you're a queen? Scrub my feet. And they, like, get treated even worse.
Make an example out of her.
Right, kind of like the Aes Sedai, right?
Yeah.
Like, but, no, I didn't not like this. I thought this was a good tactic, a nice try.
Cool.
Fael being like, be really meek, so they don't notice us and we can just slip away.
Yeah.
Also good tactic.
Yeah.
There's no bad tactics here at this point that I'm seeing.
Okay.
Try anything.
Yeah. All right.
We don't really know.
Yeah.
So.
Galena got a nickname.
Lena.
Yeah, just shorten that right up.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Is that where we get the name?
Yeah, well, they call her, and then immediately after, it's like, Galena.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because this is where another woman rides up and says, is this true, Galena? Is she a Wetlander queen?
Yeah.
And then that's when I was like, not dead.
Not dead.
Which, okay.
Yeah.
So is Missana lying? Or does she not know?
Well, that's what Alviarin's big take on Missana is like, she's not an all-knowing person.
Not.
Right? That's the thing about Forsaken.
So that's the next thing to speculate on.
They're just people who have more power than most, but, like, they're not
okay,
omniscient.
And I've learned my lesson. Don't believe everything anyone says.
Don't believe anything anybody ever says, ever.
Ever.
Never believe anything.
Just always say, that's not true.
Nailing it,
and take the opposite.
Even if it is true, that's when you double down. That is not.
That's usually what happens for me.
Smart.
Yep.
Yep. There we go.
So, is Missana fucking with Alviarin? Or... does she not know?
Or does she just not even care? Because, like,
I don't think that you say something like, Galena's dead, so either you truly think that, or you're just messing with Alviarin.
Okay.
I don't think that there's, like, a weird in-between.
Okay.
I'm gonna say she knows she's alive, but she's fucking with Alviarin.
Fair. That's a decent stance. I like it.
Which also makes me believe that Galena is not getting rescued in the same way that What's-Her-Face did.
Yeah. Katarina?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't like announce someone's dead.
Yeah.
And then rescue them.
But does that also mean she might not be, like, Isband?
Oh, Isband. Mm-hmm. It's a verb now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess it depends how much she shares.
Yeah. Yeah, there's questions.
But if...
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Shoot.
There could be some repercussions considering she's, like, forsworn her oaths.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
The wheels are turning.
Okay,
I'm watching your face go here.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Maybe there's this sort of knowing when the Dark One's oaths are severed.
Okay.
And it's like a belief that they must be dead.
Okay.
And that happened because she swore a new oath on the rod.
Yeah, but we don't know if it's like an override system. Just because you take a new oath doesn't mean that the old ones get canceled out necessarily.
No, I'm thinking of the Black Aja in the tower.
Yeah.
Who specifically, like, did away with her old oaths.
Yeah.
And took new ones. This is, Galeno is different.
We need more information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Things for me to not think about again until it's relevant.
Yes.
Yep, that's
okay.
really... I was going to say, I'll think on this. No, I won't.
No,
I won't think about this again. Okay, but we get a huge description of this woman and who she is, and of course, it's Savannah.
Yeah, and Fael actually knows... She knows of Savannah. She's been involved in a lot of big major events. Like the Couladin thing, the Duma as Wells thing. So it's like Fael knows of her. And Fael,
who is a strong woman, recognizes that everything that's happened is actually Savannah's doing. Yeah. And that is so powerful to recognize.
I mean, Savannah is the ultimate shit disturber.
Force. She's a force.
She's horrible. She's a terrible person, but like, I mean, she gets things done.
Well, a tsunami isn't like, oh, cool. Good, we like this tsunami. But it's a wild force that just like wrecks through everything.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Savannah's a tsunami.
With boobs out.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
That's how you know.
Why not?
That's how you know, because she rides up with her boobs out as per usual.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But then we get Galena confirming that Fael must be powerful, because in Alejandro's big confession of who they are, she called Fael her liege lady.
Yes, so she's sworn to Fael.
That's right. So...
Yeah. And Galena also saw Alejandra a long time ago when she was younger, but this woman could definitely probably be her, so like, it's very possible that this is in fact Alejandra.
Right.
Good confirmation system.
Okay. So Galena keeps adding information until Ferreira tells her to shut it.
Yeah.
And then Fael picks up on the fact that, quote, Lena is not an Aiel.
Yeah.
And that's important because later she keeps thinking about it.
Mm.
Now, Savannah is like, okay, well, which one of you is the maid and which one is the liege lady? And then Magdalene and Fael raise their hands.
Yeah, we can't lie about this situation here, so. Yeah.
And then we get a bit of a stare down. And then Galena is told to heal the prisoners immediately.
Yeah.
Because they clearly can't walk.
Yeah, they got health problems now.
Yep. Fael is shocked when Galena immediately obeys.
Yeah.
And gets to it.
And also, like, healing, that must mean that, is she Aes Sedai? Because that's crazy.
She can clearly use the power, but she's clearly not Aiel. Like, what's happening?
Yeah, it's a confusing situation. And I understand that, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then, while that's happening, Savannah starts having a conversation with Ferreira and says that she just received word tonight that they'll camp with the Jonin?
Yeah, so it's another sept. So basically what's happening here, Ferreira's not impressed that, this is happening because Savannah said, I'm going to reunite all the septs. But now this is only the 5th sept that they've reunited with.
Out of 7, then there's 78 more.
Out of 78 more to come that they need to So it's just kind of talking about how many Shido there are and how many septs.
Yeah, and you're still trying to convince me that it's a bad thing that they were dispersed everywhere. I see where you're coming from, but I think that them as a whole group could be way worse for where they are.
I mean, okay, I was going to equate this to numbers because, like, give or take, one sept could be, like, plus or minus, say, 1,000 people.
Yeah, but numbers mean nothing.
But if you have, like, 80 septs plus, that means there's, like, 80,000 Shido.
No, we know that there's more than that. There's only 4 here.
Yeah, but I mean, the issue is that there's that many more just, like, in the countryside. They're everywhere. This is...
Yeah, I know, but they're not all run by crazy Savannah.
Not yet.
Well,
yeah.
No.
Okay.
I still think that it's not that bad that they were split up everywhere.
You keep saying that. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep in mind there's a little showdown between Savannah and Ferreira.
Yeah.
Because of the whole Savannah is now basically just a clan chief. She sort of got that wise one title taken over.
I speak for the clan chief.
Yeah, because they're like, if you're going to be a clan chief, then that means you can't be both.
Yeah.
So
you can't
just
be
like
a wise one and a clan chief.
Yeah, keep that in mind. So.
She also can't channel.
Yes.
So
which technically shouldn't matter.
But
with wise ones.
It matters.
Everybody knows.
It matters.
Oh, man. Okay.
Okay. So Savannah turns her horse around, rides off, and Fael knows there's a ton of tension here and thinks that might be useful.
She'll sow discord amongst
we'll
like,
see.
come on.
All right. So then it's Fael's turn to be healed. Galena gets right to it without wasting time, and Fael's surprised by the Aes Sedai ring on Galena's finger.
Yes. Yep.
Galena keeps making her rounds, healing everyone. Leandra and Magdan are just starting to recover from their healing, and all Fael is thinking about is the fact that Galena must be an Aes Sedai, and what that might mean for everybody here going forward.
Yeah, and like the situation, like how is she here? Why is she here?
Why
happening? Is she obeying Thorava and Savannah like so adamantly?
Thoroughly, yeah.
Yeah, because she's flinching. Like Galena is in a bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So once Galena finishes healing everyone, she takes off after Thorava, and then more Gaishines start heading towards them. Fael recognizes people from a bunch of different nations here. This isn't just
they're taking Gaishine from literally everywhere now.
Everywhere, anyone that they find.
Yeah.
They get a bunch of food, and then they eat and rest, and while that's happening, Fael is brought a little golden chain, like the other Gaishine, and she's like, no thanks. And they're like, no, this is your uniform.
Yeah, this is how they know that you're Savannah's.
The necklace and the
belt. The matching decor, you have to do it. It's a fashion statement.
This is for all who serve the Lady Savannah.
Yeah.
Which sounds not very Aiel to me.
Oh, it's very much not. No, definitely, it's very much not Aiel. She's doing it. Like, Gaishine aren't supposed to wear anything except for the robes.
Well, no, even the Lady Savannah.
Oh, yeah, that's also not a thing.
No.
But Savannah wants to be a wetland queen.
Yeah, she does.
She wants to rule the world.
Okay.
With her lover / husband / baby daddy. Because she's also having his kids.
Oh, she thinks that.
Yeah. That was on the last, she's like, I'm going to have his kids. It's going to be great.
Cool.
I'm gonna
good luck,
use
Savannah.
him. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even people that Rand actually loves, he refuses to be with.
Yeah.
So
come on.
Good luck to you, Savannah.
Come on. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I also love Fael's thought process. She's like, "Oh no, things have to get better from here on."
I don't know why she thinks that.
You think this is the worst that it can get?
Yeah. Anyway,
oh man,
I know.
It's way too early to be thinking about this is the worst it's gonna get.
Oh yeah. Okay, so eventually they start heading through the snow again, but they're wearing their robes now, so it's better than being naked.
Yeah.
And now tomorrow they'll be expected to help carrying things, so today they get to just rest while they walk.
Yeah, because they're Gaishine now, so they're part of the team.
And it's snowing so much, and there are tons of Gaishine everywhere blending into the snow. They end up losing sight of Bane and Chiad and the rest of their crew.
The Shafael.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
And nobody really has to keep up any particular pace now. Yeah, they're not even really being watched. But eventually, they have to give up looking for the rest of their crew.
Yeah, because they literally go back and forth, trying to find everyone. And then at some point, Megan's like,
we're doing way too much walking.
And I'm already tired. And I
don't want to.
No.
Yes. And after a while, Fael realizes that pretty much everyone just ignores the Gaishine. And so she tells Alejandra and Magdan that if they don't attract attention, then they'll probably be able to start lagging behind and slip away and then go hide in the snow.
Use the robes to hide in this because they're white.
Now,
hide
I think
in the snow.
Maybe this could be a thing that could have been a tactic.
Sure.
If Alejandra wasn't we're very important.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Make sure you remember who we are.
If you just act like you're just another number, maybe, but also the Aiel are very good at scouting and keeping people in line.
They're not tailing you.
Yeah,
a mile back
for sure
for stragglers.
Yeah,
of course. There's
and scouting for other armies and come on
or something, right? You know?
That's what they call it. They do call it the caboose group. That's the Aiel term for it. Yeah.
Oh, the caboose group. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Anyways, Fael's doing her best to make some sort of game plan. Like, I get it. I respect
make your
it.
way back to Perrin. Sell the gold they just gave you. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And
like, okay.
Alejandro and Megden are like, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
We're also not just, like, leaving you.
We're
do. Sworn to you.
Yeah, they do say that. Like, we're not if we're going to leave, we're all escaping. We're not just going to, like, one of us.
Although, maybe I'm just very selfish.
Sure.
I would just go.
You would try to escape.
Yeah, because if I can escape, then at least I have more information to help them.
And at least I am not in this situation anymore. Situation.
But if I'm out of there, I can maybe be more help.
Sure.
To try to get them out after.
Okay.
I'm getting out.
Yeah,
if I can,
get that. Yeah.
I don't care who I'm sworn to.
Oh, no. Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. You'd be a terrible lady who's...
Well, it's like Alejandro, Megden, and
I know,
Fael.
like what? Like, come on.
What actual... There's no real
What's
connection.
the relationship here? Come on.
Wouldn't be like, oh, Perrin and Fael. And Fael's like, Perrin, if you can leave, just do it. And Perrin's like, no? Right? Like, I get that.
Yeah.
This... Okay. Maybe I just don't understand swearing fealty merge.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So, while they're walking... At some point, Tharava and her entourage show up beside them.
Yeah, I have to imagine this is like spaced out a little bit in all these events.
Yes.
And it's a little bit undefined.
Because it's like they're walking and walking and walking and walking for hours and hours. And so she says, you're thinking of escaping. Don't deny it. But Fael does deny it. Like a liar.
She does lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tharava warns her that only the dead succeed in escaping.
There we go.
The living are always brought back. That's Tharava.
That's
the
right. Thing.
You were right.
Okay.
Okay. Then she tells Fael that the Wetlanders aren't like regular Guy Shine. They have to serve forever.
Forever. But don't worry, I can help you not serve forever.
Ah.
Yeah, there's a twist to that.
There's a twist.
Yeah. So here's the twist. You have to spy on Savannah.
Yep.
Every word, everything she says, I want to know all of it. So, and if she's happy,
your only hope.
Yeah, and knowing what we know of Savannah and Tharava, this could be a legitimate offer.
No.
Oh, you don't think this is a legitimate offer?
I think that, like, yes, make me happy and tell me everything Savannah's saying. Bring me some interesting news. Cool.
Okay.
But I really don't think that Tharava's ever going to be like, bye.
Interesting, really?
Yeah, no.
Well, we already got that she doesn't even like all these guys shine.
That's true.
Like, it's a thing that she doesn't necessarily care for.
These three who are pretty important people.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I could also... Counterpoint, I could just see Tharava as the kind of person who would do it just to piss off Savannah.
Maybe. But if she gets some interesting information out of it, they prove very useful.
Yeah.
Are you just going to, like, dump away useful people?
Yeah, okay. All right, fair.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways, don't know. I just don't buy it. I don't believe her.
So the deal is you spy on Savannah, and then if I like it, then I'll let you go. And then Fael...
I can make sure you're, quote, left behind.
Yes, yeah. Hopefully alive, not just like as a body on the side of the road.
Right. But then Fael asks, well, if Savannah finds out about this, will you protect us?
No.
No, just don't get caught.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to protect
That's your own problem, yeah. And so Tharava and her crew leave. Fael and Alejandra and Megden walk for a bit in silence until they start talking about this situation they're in now. Fael says, we can choose what we report to Tharava, so it can't be traced back to us. And Megden says, no, idiot. Yeah. That's not how any of this works. We don't have any choices in this.
Yeah, I think Alejandra says that about the choosing, because that's when she's talking about
I thought
the
that
cookpot
was
thing.
Morgaze. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Morgaze is the one who's like, oh, we don't have any choices. Mm-hmm. So.
And it's probably because Tharava has made this same deal with a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And if they miss anything in reporting, then Tharava will find out about that.
Yeah, because there's also probably like 100 spies.
Yeah.
So it's just, this is a bad situation.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's not really a real offer.
No.
This is like a demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This chapter should have been called Demands.
Demands. Veiled Demands.
Ooh, wow. Good title.
Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really veiled, though. It's just like...
Well, no. It's veiled as an offer.
Okay.
The demand is veiled
as... Gotcha.
Offers
offer? Veiled... No, now we're getting... Okay.
And now
That's a worse
much.
chapter
it's
title.
Too much.
Shoot.
Okay, so then Alejandra pulls rank on Magdan. We get this whole freaking
so
thing
weird
because there's this back and forth about
don't talk to me like that. Oh, you're a servant because we're all servants.
We're all servants.
And then Fael's like, but also apologize. It's like, oh god, you're all no.
Yeah.
I'm on Morgaze's side where it's like,
me too.
You know what? We're all prisoners.
We're all equals now. Leave me alone.
Until we get out of here, like, nah.
Yeah. So they keep walking, and eventually they get fed around the middle of the day, and they're still marching, blah, blah, blah. Fael spends some more time thinking about Galena and why she's here.
And then, boom, Galena's actually, like, right there.
Oh my gosh, staring at them.
Yeah.
And Fael wonders if Galena would help them escape or just rat them out.
Yeah.
But then Galena comes over and says, you know who I am and what I am.
Yes, okay.
And Fael says, well, you seem to be an Aes Sedai, but this is a very weird place for you to be.
Yeah.
And then Galena goes on this stupid fucking rant about how...
As one does, I'm on a super important mission for the tower. I can't fail, and that's all you need to know, because I should be here, because I want to be here.
And Alejandra's like, no.
Yeah, no way. Because she also knows that, like, Aes Sedai can technically, like, people can get the ring without actually being Aes Sedai, so...
Mm-hmm. And then there's this big argument.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Gets pretty heated. It is interesting, though, because Morgaze gets in on it, too, and tells Galena that she's a disgrace to the tower.
Yeah.
So just as, like, a side note, as a reminder, Morgaze had a bunch of, like, compulsion from Ravine to make her hate the Aes Sedai, too. Like, from way back.
Oh, okay.
Basically, like, pushing Morgaze against the White Tower. Mm. So there's a possibility that she's got some, like, lingering after effects of, like, I don't like Aes Sedai.
Okay, but that doesn't make sense with this, though.
Except that
because she's like, you're a disgrace to the tower.
Yeah.
Meaning that she's, like, defending the tower.
Possibly.
And what Galena's doing isn't good.
Could be, like, general distrust. It could be just, like, not liking.
Yeah,
but...
I don't think that what you said has anything to do with this.
All right. Cool.
Okay. So Fael tries to calm the situation, tells Galena that if she wants to help them escape, then she should just say so. And if not, then why is she even here right now? And Galena ignores her and then asks Alejandra, is this really your liege lady?
Yeah.
And so now Fael is angry. It's a whole thing. And then she's the one who's like, excuse me, I'm the Lady Fael Tybara.
Ah, no, don't say it.
By the way.
Oh, no.
And that's all you need to know about me.
That is all she needs to know.
And Galena pauses for a minute. Yep. And then Fael realizes she done messed up.
That's a big, important last name.
Giving away way too much. Because then Galena's like, Paranibara, your husband.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That explains Alejandra's oath. And Savannah has plans for Randall Thor, who's linked to your husband. And if she knew she had you in her hands, ... Yep. Whoa.
Yeah, that's very...
worse. That's worse than, like, freaking Queen of Nothing.
Yeah, that's an
Alejandra.
Open threat, so...
Yeah.
Oh, but don't worry. She won't find out from Galena.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you do what I want.
Right.
Now we get to the crux of the position. Here's the thing.
Which is also not an offer.
No.
But a demand.
Yep.
Here's it. It's a good one.
It is pretty good.
And you know what? I actually kind of hope they pull this off.
My big question for you is like, okay, so especially since you're saying Tharava's offer is not like a legit I'll help you escape offer.
Yeah.
Is Galena's offer here a real, legitimate, possible escape plan?
Possible, because I think Galena would go with them.
Because Galena wants to get the hell out of here, too.
She wants the oath rod.
She needs it, and she wants to get out of here.
Yeah, okay, so let's... Hold on.
Let's do
Jumping
this.
ahead.
Yeah.
Fael is like, Galena, what do you want? And she says that she has very specific directions for them to sneak into Tharava's tent, take a smooth white rod about a foot long that's kept in a red chest that's never locked, and it seems simple enough.
Yep.
But Galena doesn't tell them what it is or why she wants it. And then Fael tells Galena that it might take time because they can't just go sneak into Tharava's tent whenever they want. But for now, this is the start of their escape plan.
Yeah, so
That's
I mean...
the end of this chapter.
The whole thing about this task is that on the surface it seems very simple. Get into the tent. The chest is always unlocked. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I guess because, like, Galena is ordered not to touch it, obviously.
Probably,
but yeah, so...
And because Tharava is overconfident?
Probably
perhaps?
that too. Yeah. But in Alejandra and Morghese
Or,
and
here's the thing, a bunch of the wise ones can channel.
Sure.
And while it might not be physically locked, like with lock and key.
Sure, okay.
It might be like warded.
Interesting, okay. Little alarm goes off.
At some point in either of these two chapters, Fail does think about how she's disappointed that Morghese/Magdan isn't stronger in the power.
Can't do anything.
She was hoping to use her.
Yeah, she's like, ooh, my own little Aes Sedai. It's like, no.
No, nothing.
No, not
she
like
can't
that.
do a single thing.
Yeah, so like the whole issue with this task is that on the surface it seems very simple. Like, get something from a unlocked chest. We can do that, probably.
Yeah, probably.
But like, then why haven't you done it, Galena?
Yeah.
And Galena's not telling her, like, oh, I got this whole I have to obey under oath. So.
Yeah. And what does unlocked even really mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, so like legitimate escape plan? How are you feeling about this plan? How do you feel about the Fail-Galena combo team up?
If it helps Fail leave, and Alejandra and Magdan, if it helps them go, cool. Now, here's my thing.
Okay.
The entire time, every time Morghese meets somebody new, I'm still hoping, or in some way wanting, whether or not it'll benefit the story or be good
to recognize her.
I just need somebody to fucking recognize her. Okay,
who could possibly? Who's out there?
I don't know. Like maybe Galena.
Maybe
Galena's a red who might have been in Camelin a year or two ago, staying in the palace whenever they left. Remember when they did a whole thing?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just.
Someone.
I understand the point. Okay, maybe we've met Morghese one time, but when you see this, like, disheveled maid, your mind doesn't go, oh, she sort of looks like Morghese. Your mind doesn't go, oh, this is Morghese. However, we're reading a fantasy book.
This happens, so at this point, it's like we need Elaine to come in and be like, oh, she looks a lot like my mother. Yeah. Anyways.
Right.
Oh, I'm just seeing things.
Yeah, because that'll, like, I just need somebody to be like, well, that's, like, if Galena can be like, I recognize Alejandra from
What's
years
this
ago
other
when
queen
she
doing?
was a child. She looks familiar, but Morghese, no?
Yeah.
Please, no.
Okay.
No. And Morghese, who was, like, at the tower, who knows when Galena was there, whatever. We
gotta get in Galena's head because this isn't necessarily something that she would say.
Somebody to know who Morghese is.
Yeah, okay.
I need that.
It's
whether
coming.
Or not
it's coming.
Like, logical,
someone will recognize her.
Whether or not it's logical in the plot line, it doesn't matter. I'm just like rooting for this thing that literally could not be good for Morghese because my brain is exploding with how she could be for decades.
Crazy.
The Queen of Andor and no one's recognized. I just
maybe
don't care.
Maybe she's not as famous as she thinks she is.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, and I get the whole thing. Oh, if, like, I see someone who's pretty famous in, like, the Tony Hawk thing. When Tony Hawk is constantly tweeting about how people are like, man, you look like Tony Hawk. And he's like, yep.
Yeah.
It's probably like that. But that's not suiting my needs here in this book.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, that's it. That's the end of this, so, okay.
Yeah, that was fun. It was okay.
It's a lot of setup for like plots that might become something.
You know what? I like seeing this kind of thing. It's fine.
All right.
This is fine. This is all good. Let's go.
All right.
I'm into it.
Okay.
It's making me cold.
That's just the outside. It's
just actually like where we live. Yeah. Oh, that's what's cold. Okay. Well, before you go ahead and announce to a bunch of people who have you captured who you are and who you're married to and why you're there and why you're super important, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's the end of another fun episode. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, Jonathan Reese, Margaret, and Charlie Has. With music by Audionautics. If you are interested in supporting us and the podcast, and also getting some really cool exclusive merch and access to early episodes and bonus episodes, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and us, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, things like that, for all things The Wheel Weaves, you can go to thewheelweavespodcast.com. Please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference. And tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening because this really is part of the pattern now.